Financial Times is the premier business newspaper in Tanzania. The Financial Times is a weekly source of information and business insight for the most successful leaders, executives, investors, and entrepreneurs in Tanzania and throughout the East Africa region. We provide critical business insight and in-depth features on companies, people, strategies, ideas, and economic trends. The Financial Times offers an unrivaled platform for advertisers to enhance brand awareness and move products. We will enable you to reach confident and informed consumers and decision makers who are ready to buy, which includes company CEOs, CFOs, managers, entrepreneurs, policymakers in government, politics and civil society, diplomats, members of the academia, and other key influencers. See examples of advertisement opportunities featured in Financial Times key sections below. Telecom sections, real estate section, company news, banking, finance and insurance industry, information technology, national, regional and global markets overview, motoring, lifestyle. Get your copy of Financial Times for only 2,000 Tanzania shillings only.
Chairman of Simba Sports Club Transfer Committee charged. Retired Tanzanian President Kikwete urges African countries to deal with poverty. Stars shine at home with a 2-0 win against Cape Verde. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. Two charges that are facing the chairman of Simba Sports Club's transfer committee, Zakaria Hans Poppe, have been read out to him at Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam. Hans Poppe has been included in a case of money laundering charges which have been leveled against the president of Simba Sports Club, Mr. Evans Aveva, and his vice president, Mr. Godfrey Nyange. After being included in the case, the three accused Simba officials listened as 10 charges that they face were read to them before the chief magistrate of Kisutu Magistrate Court, Tomba Simba, and the public prosecutor, Shadrach Kimaro. Out of these 10 charges, 2 charges in particular concern Hans Poppe, one of which is alleged to sabotage of Simba Sports Club. The 10 charges include accusations such as submission of false information. But despite this, the very last charge was not read out because it concerns a fourth suspect who has not yet been brought to court. After these charges were read, the court demanded that Hans Poppe should find 2 sponsors who each sign a bond of 15 million shillings, and he did find the 2 sponsors who each successfully fulfilled the court conditions, and he was then released on bail, and the case was adjourned until November 10th of this year. Some people have escaped death at Kitonga Hill in Iringa region after a bus from New Force Bus Company that was coming from Mbeya and heading to Dar es Salaam collided with another vehicle claimed to be owned by Golden Deer Company, which was heading from Dar es Salaam to Tunduma. Speaking through the phone, Assistant Police Commissioner Deusdedit Kasindo, who is also acting police commander of Iringa, said that 10 people have been injured in the accident. 4 men, 5 women, and 1 male child aged between 1.5 years to 2 years old. 2 of those injured are not doing well and have been moved to Iringa Referral Hospital, while the rest are receiving treatment at Ilula District Hospital. Tanzania has launched an international livestock auction at Kirumi on the border of Butiama, Roya and Tarime districts. The auction will be used to sell livestock from Lake Zone, Central and West regions before they are transported to neighboring countries, with the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Luhaga Mpina, mentioning some government officials involved in sabotage of livestock keepers in the country. Speaking during the launch of the auction in Mara, Minister Mpina said that from now on, no livestock will be transported without passing through that auction.
Kwamba mnada huu ni mnada wa kimataifa. that this auction is an international auction which will have livestock from different areas passing here and will be sold in the country and outside the country. So with all the livestock that will be passing here, no one will be allowed to do business outside of this auction. Everyone will have to bring the livestock in this auction. So I want to assure the livestock keepers and other citizens that we have brought this auction for you. So care for it, so as to keep on benefiting from it.
This auction will prevent the sale of stolen livestock to neighboring countries, but it also helps Shinyanga, Mwanza, Kagera and Simiyu regions to benefit from it. This will grow trade in livestock products, as the auction of livestock brought in will also be checked for any diseases, and the permits to export livestock and livestock products will also be verified. Livestock theft can never be tolerated. It involves people who want to get rich by stealing other people's livestock at night. We have had livestock stolen from as far as Musoma and Butiama being found in Serengeti, so to law enforcement organs. We've agreed that culprits must be dealt with accordingly.
The Defense and Safety Committee in Kagera region has today started a special operation to find and arrest all those who were involved in the smuggling of coffee to neighboring countries via illegal routes that exist on the beaches of River Kagera. The committee has started to do this in order to carry out the directives that were given by Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa, who was in Kagera region recently, and called upon the committee to put an end to the smuggling, as it is contributing to the sabotage of the national economy.
Despite my efforts, I have not been recognized by the village government. I brought my credentials to the village government, but the chairman ignored my arrival because he is one among the biggest smugglers. We had few people who betrayed the group, contributing to inefficiency despite achieved goals. There are a lot of smuggling activities here. As a region, we will not remain calm. Farmers have invested a lot at their farms. Why should their efforts be sabotaged?
The Deputy Minister of Works, Transport and Communications, Atashasta Ntitie, has told the engineer building the port of Dar es Salaam to ensure construction of the port is completed on time, as up to now the first jetty is completed only by 42%. The Deputy Director of the port, Engineer Karim Mataka, said that construction of the first jetty is going well and all activities at the port are ongoing with no halt or delays blamed on the construction.
This project is now 42% complete. There were a few challenges that delayed this project to be completed on time. We had planned to have the project ready this month, but we had an area that needed special attention. So we hope by June 2019 this will be ready.
Mpaka sasa hivi progress yetu ya kazi tuko 42%.
So far the project is 42% complete. Though our estimation was to have 41.5% complete, so we are slightly ahead. One challenge we faced was an area that was to be used to lower vehicles has soft soil, so a special treatment was needed to make sure that that section is strong enough to withstand weight.
Residents of Mpitimbi village in Songea region have closed the village office and insisted that information on revenue collected and how it has been used be read out, as they accused the village chairman of Mpitimbi and his manager for misappropriating money donated for a health center.
The previous leaders have been reported by residents on embezzlement,
since money that was supposed to be used in building a dispensary is nowhere to be found. We as constructors were not officially handed over to begin constructions because their office doors have been closed all this time. But on documents, it has been stated that they paid constructors 2 million shillings, which is not true. I asked about iron sheets. They say they're still there. When I asked about residents' contributions, the controversy began since there was no clear records on how much money was collected. What we are calling for is action should be taken against those involved in this saga. Village chairman is currently not available, but we have acting village chairman because money collected from our member of parliament and residents have not been recorded in the financial books, and the leaders never wanted to hold village meetings, making residents losing faith on them. The executive manager has already written a letter of dismissal to the village secretary.
Sadani National Reserve, that is in Tanga and coast regions, has been invaded by destructive agricultural pests which target cereal crops and which are known as Acacia zanzibarica. These Acacia zanzibarica pests are estimated to have spread throughout 300 kilometers of the reserve, which as a whole has a length of 1,200 kilometers. The Deputy Chief of Sadani National Reserve, Lomi Ole Meikasi, has told a national working group which is following up on the spread of the invasive agricultural pests that the reserve has already started to remove some of these pests.
The launch has attracted animals to come to this site, the areas that is neighboring reserve. If I was introducing the reserve now, the whole area could be part of the reserve, because if you pass by any time, whether in the morning or afternoon or even at night, you will meet animals. What we are doing right now is removing tree and put salt for trees to dry at the top, just to reduce production of more trees. In areas that we supervised, we have observed many areas being affected from farming land to the reserved land. There are areas that have been drying for some time, while others receive heavy rains. These conditions have contributed much in facilitating growth of trees.
The conflict involving the Water Facility Service Board of High District, which is specifically about charges of embezzlement being leveled against the board's leaders, has taken on a new twist. This comes after the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Water, Professor Kitila Mkumbo, suspended the entire board and entrusted the board's duties to Moshi Water and Environmental Conservation Authority in order for the Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau, PCC, undertake investigations into the charges which were leveled against the board's leaders. The Commissioner of High District, Lengai Olisabaya, said that the district's government and corporation and law enforcement agencies have started to look for those who were responsible for the alleged embezzlement. In addition, Commissioner Lengai Olisabaya has given 5 days to the whole board to hand over all the board's properties and possessions to Muasa.
Water service facility, in a period of 3 days, they should begin exercise of handing over assets to respective managers. On security and legal matters will be dealt with accordingly. We will conduct this exercise according to government directives until we receive other directives. I would like to call upon cooperation among us.
Over 300 passengers traveling with the Tazara Railway in the Southern Highlands and neighboring country Zambia have been stuck for 3 days at the station in Makambako, Njombe region, where they've been unable to get their most important basic needs met, causing them to complain to the management of Tazara Authority.
I've been here for 3 days. I'm hungry and I have no money. And back home, I've left behind a sick relative. I received a call at about 12 midnight from some passengers who are complaining that they've been left here without any assistance. What I've done was to establish the exact number of passengers, and the law stipulates that the transport owner must pay for food, but he must also provide alternative means of transport. A freight train had an accident, and as you know, there is one railway line which has made it impossible for the passenger train to continue its journey.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows up next.
The relaunched Financial Times is the premier business newspaper in Tanzania. The Financial Times is a weekly source of information and business insight for the most successful leaders, executives, investors, and entrepreneurs in Tanzania and throughout the East Africa region. We provide critical business insight and in-depth features on companies, people, strategies, ideas, and economic trends. The Financial Times offers an unrivaled platform for advertisers to enhance brand awareness and move products. We will enable you to reach confident and informed consumers and decision makers who are ready to buy, which includes company CEOs, CFOs, managers, entrepreneurs, policymakers in government, politics and civil society, diplomats, members of the academia and other key influencers. See examples of advertisement opportunities featured in Financial Times sections below. Telecom sections, real estate section, company news, banking, finance and insurance industry, information technology, national, regional and global markets overview, motoring, lifestyle. Get your copy of Financial Times for 2,000 Tanzania shillings only.
And in international news, as the world commemorates World Food Day, as is done every year by the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, and is aimed at increasing knowledge and aiding those who are facing hunger by ensuring there's constant access to safe and nutritious food to all. The president of the fourth phase government of Tanzania, Dr. Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, attended a two-day forum on nutrition in Africa, where he said there is a need for all people to be educated on nutrition in Africa.
On the part of governments, investors and other stakeholders, but also increase investments, support to SMEs in the nutrition front. Nutrition at the first 1,000 days, because they say if proper nutrition is given to a baby the first 1,000 days, for physical and mental development. So they say if you lose the first 1,000 days, the losses may not be recovered.
Residents of Beni and its districts in the Democratic Republic of Congo have commemorated 4 years since the start of the brutal killings in the area, with people having been killed every day by machetes and knives since October 15th, 2014 to date.
Until now, murdering is still occurring. It's been 4 years. There is no safety in Beli City. So in short, Mr. Journalist, that this is how we live here. There is no safety. The murdering that is happening, even when we look at it, there is no solution. Solution was to be found for all these 4 years which we have been struggling. The government should keep power into this to stop our struggle.
As the rainy season is expected to begin, the ministry that deals with disasters and refugees in Rwanda, Midima, has released a report that states that almost 10% of the 2018-2019 budget to 443 billion has been used to fight against disasters in the first 6 months of this year.
I'm reminding all those living in dangerous areas to move at once. Everyone with a house, they have to make sure they dig a water hole so as to collect rainwater. And those who can afford water tanks, then they get those so as to collect the water instead of it being absorbed by the ground.
And that's the end of international news. Do stay with us. We'll be back with business after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand.
You must quickly think how cost effective are you going to be.
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector. extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs for creating employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back and on to business news. Timber farmers in Lupembe in Njombe region have begun to benefit from the timber market that they started in 2016 in Matembe village to cope with the challenge of reliable markets for their harvest, which do include timber and electric poles.
Kwa kipindi cha miezi mitano,
for a period of 5 months, we have succeeded in receiving wood in the market 9,152, and the one which has been transported 825,215.
sasa wanaokuja kununua huko wafanyabiashara wadogo au
now the ones who are coming to buy from small entrepreneurs or some of the farmers who decide to transport the wood to Dar es Salaam, we're getting a lot of disturbance on the way for EFD receipts. So basically, we are trying to look in the markets like this who deserves to be registered and the one registered to use what records like EFD receipts.
Cotton farmers in Malini District, Morogoro region have said that they face the challenge of substandard harvest due to use of pesticides that are of poor quality, and it has led them to not being able to get markets for their harvests.
This is a clear indication that the pesticide used doesn't meet standard. That is why it gets mixed up with other products. Because farmers have used pesticide that has resulted in cotton produced coming out dirty, then the instructions that was given to the farmers was flawed, and the farmer is not to blame. This should be on companies that sell the pesticide because farmers were given the wrong instructions. I'm just an ordinary employee who was sent here by the company to buy cotton of a certain quality. Right?
The government has been asked to continue to invest in cashew nut crops as they provide temporary employment to a significant number of youth who have flooded Mtwara region during this cashew nut season from different regions of Tanzania, including Mwanza and Musoma.
Cashew nut cultivation has been a salvation crop to Tandahimba district, also a salvation crop to other Tanzanians from other regions like Mara, Mwanza, Dar es Salaam, Arusha, Singida, Mbeya. All are here doing some labor work of picking up cashew nut. So it's been a help. As we said, all Tanzanians are one. So even when they come here, they are well welcomed by Tandahimba citizens. Just basically they have to be loyal, they have to show cooperation with the locals. The reason of coming from Mwanza to here Mtwara is the opportunity found here. I'm a carpenter, and here there are carpentry opportunities. So there is money earned. And it's true, cashew nut crop does not only pay the farmers, even us who do not cultivate it. I'm from Mwanza, we don't have cashew nut cultivation there. But I'm here and have got an opportunity to earn money. So all Tanzanians in general, cashew nut cultivation pays us all.
And that's all for business news. Sports follows next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
Watching here.
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette. And you're watching Sports Gazette.
With Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And on to sports. The national team Taifa Stars has gotten their revenge against Cape Verde by defeating them 2-0 at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam, and this is to get even after a 3-0 defeat last Friday. Despite failing to convert a penalty kick after attempting a Peneka, Captain Mbwana Samata set up a wonderful assist for Simon Msuva to make it 2-0 in the second half. Tanzania is now second in the group standings, having played 4 games, and they are ahead of Cape Verde by 1 point and Lesotho by 3, with Uganda leading with 7 points.
It was a very tough game, very interesting game. We knew that the Cape Verde team over the years, like I said before we traveled to Cape Verde, they have improved a lot. They have a lot of players that are playing in Portuguese league, playing in French league. We could see the level of the technical ability of the team. They know what to do when they have the ball. They know what to do when they don't have the ball. In Cape Verde, unfortunately, they created a lot of problems for us. Mostly the captain, but of course we also had some few chances in Cape Verde, but we were not able to score.
Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho has been charged over comments he made in Portuguese to a television camera after his side's win over Newcastle.
It is claimed Mourinho used abusive, insulting or improper language after the 3-2 comeback victory at Old Trafford on 6th of October. The Football Association used a lip reader, and the 55-year-old's remarks were interpreted as offensive. Mourinho had been under pressure amid reports he will be sacked. His side had been 2-0 down to winless Newcastle at halftime of the Premier League game, but they scored 3 goals in the final 20 minutes to turn the match around.
England manager Gareth Southgate has been praised the courage of his side after they beat Spain to claim their first UEFA Nations League victory.
The 3-2 loss was Spain's first at home in a competitive match for 15 years. A superb first-half showing from England produced 2 goals from Raheem Sterling and 1 from Marcus Rashford, with Spain responding through Paco Alcácer and Sergio Ramos. Southgate said his side showed quality and were brave. He told BBC Radio 5 Live the quality of the performance will play with courage and use the ball of courage. If you come and defend for 90 minutes, they will unlock you.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you, thank you for watching and have a good night.